Now,
Yeah.
the Epic of El Tecolote Blanco, the White Owl. The rivers ran, skies became cloudy, butterflies and bees flickered over wildflowers, and the owl, the white owl, El Tecolote, El Tecolote Blanco sat and watched. He sat quietly on a sheltered tree branch and watched. He had been sent by the gods to observe the human experience. Observe. This owl was very old, and he had watched from afar during great triumphs and great tragedies. He had seen the great cloud on the Japanese horizon near Hiroshima, the first use of a nuclear bomb on an inhabited city. He saw the death, the mangled remains of old Japanese, baby Japanese, all fried like onions and liver in a pan. He saw the space launches and moon landings, those incredible achievements. He stretched his wings slowly and raised one claw as he watched Neil Armstrong climb down the ladder to the moon. He looked thoughtfully toward the ground for 2 or 3 minutes. Occasionally he spread his 7-foot wings and coasted over the treetops of forests that were being mowed in strips invisible to the human cities. El Tecolote Blanco slept for years at a time when the world was quiet, but he watched and listened in every reach. The tropics, the Arctic regions. He watched oil spills vomit dead life in great spreading stains. He saw wars with firepower too awesome to even imagine. The explosives, the dead, the wreckage, the mutilation of mountains, the decimation of valleys, great wartime cemeteries, deformed humans with 2 heads and 3 arms, skulls born without brains from elaborate poisons scattered invisibly, radiation measurable only in half-lives. El Tecolote Blanco. He saw beautiful children, lovely white-haired elders, muscular forearms and lovely faces, yet so many gaunt, close to starvation in filth. El Tecolote Blanco watches for 5,000 years, and in the end sees the plight of this species and all others as the earth dries and crackles. Slowly, imperceptibly, the continents shrivel, the seas darken. El Tecolote turned away and looked at night toward the stars, and with backward looks he rose at last on his great wings and climbed over the earth, drifting down for last tender looks at the human earth he now knew, that he had learned to understand the fate of it, this third planet in the solar system, of this sun. Then one last flight, as though to say goodbye to every region, every island, every sea, every forest, mountain range, and snowy peak. He slowly climbed, rising silently, softly, his tiny figure becoming smaller and smaller and smaller until he was gone to the heavens on his magic wings, his wings of wisdom and power. His choice on behalf of the gods had been made. His word to them would be, no upright stance, no opposing thumb, no large skull to house an inordinate brain that could only guide its species staggering through time toward death in the tragic final chapter of this life in this place, and that would never, ever, as he was instructed, be repeated in any other place in the vastness in every direction. El Tecolote Blanco had served his gods, had struggled and felt the anguish of this cosmic failure that had so many beauties in its being, but alas, not enough. not enough. No, never again, never this tragic gamble. Never, never again. El Tecolote Blanco had spoken, and the gods listened in silence. They nodded as though in mourning in silence. No more humans in the universe. El Tecolote Blanco, El Tecolote Blanco had spoken.